Hello, my name is Vladimir Tikhomirov. I'm chief economist at BCS Global Markets, and I will give you my view on the coming week. In my view, the week would be determined mostly by two major developments. One is related to pandemic. We have seen some initial positive reports coming out from Italy, Spain, and Germany last week, which suggest that the peak of pandemic could be over for these nations, because we have seen that daily cases of new instances of coronavirus have started to decrease, which is a good sign, because that means that within 4 or 5 weeks we could see significant improvement in the health area in these countries. Some reports suggest that the peak in pandemic in UK and the US could be coming this week, which means that perhaps starting next week, the dynamic would turn towards a positive outlook, which could be a very good development for the markets, because the investors are watching closely the statistics to try to figure out when the economies and these countries could come back to more or less normal way of doing business. Given the Chinese experience, that means that perhaps within 4 to 6 weeks, we could see significant improvement in the health area and the start of restoration of normal economic activity, which is obviously something that the markets would be very closely watching. And the second development this week, of course, is related to the oil markets. We have seen big moves on the oil markets last week because of hopes that there could be new agreement within OPEC Plus on oil cuts that could be reached as early as this week. The reports, as they stand today, suggest that perhaps on 9th of April there could be online conference of energy ministers of OPEC Plus, with participation of Saudi Arabia and Russia. The question whether US is going to join the meeting is a bit open. The comments made by President Trump over the weekend suggest that US is not yet prepared to promise any cuts in oil supply, but this could be coming within the next few days. So I expect very heavy diplomatic efforts over Monday through Wednesday ahead of the OPEC Plus meeting. And that's something that the market, particularly the Russian market, will be watching very closely, given the importance of oil to Russian economy, Russian budget, and the ruble. So these are the two major developments that I think investors will be closely watching this week. Hope is that if we can see the path of the peak in pandemic in major economies, along with some sort of a deal on the oil market, that could support the market sentiment, and we might not see any further corrections on the Russian market. Thank you for your time.